Avraham davens to save Sodom, right? Last week, Avraham goes to war for Sodom. Avraham goes to war for Sodom because he's trying to save his nephew. And one of the boys asked me, by the way, it's been bothering me a whole week, how can you risk the life of a whole army to save one person? Somebody asked me that question. And it's an interesting question. It deserves a shiur unto itself. There's halachas about it, but it's been haunting me. Avraham saves Sodom to save Lot, and then he pays for it. If Avraham Avinu doesn't save Lot, and Avraham Avinu lets Sodom be occupied by Amrophel and Kedal Omer and Tidal and all the rest, it's very possible that Sodom would never have been turned upside down. And the south of Israel, instead of it being salt and sulfur, would be a garden. It was the most lush, the most fertile part of Eretz Yisrael is now the lowest part below sea. It's useless. Nothing grows. Absolutely nothing grows. So Avraham Avinu saves Sodom, and as could be expected, he pays for it. In this week's Parsha, Hashem wants to destroy Sodom because Sodom are bad people. They're really, really bad people. And what makes the people of Sodom bad isn't that they do bad things. A lot of people do bad things. What makes the people of Sodom bad is they were the Germans. The Nazis were Sodom. Everything they did was based on law. The Nazis had laws. Do you know how many Jewish people's lives were saved because of the stupid laws the Nazis had? I heard it from Leibel Zisman. The Nazis killed, whatever it is, 7,000 people a day. Whatever it was, the Hungarian Jews, they were imported them. It was 7,000 people a day. But everything had to be stamped and signed and sealed. If the commandant from the earlier part of the day and the commandant for the later part of the day did not communicate and didn't sign and seal it, so those people were sent back to work. They followed the law. Sodom was evil because they made it into a legal issue, you know. If you're selfish, you're selfish. When you run to court and you scream, the law does not allow me to be kind to you, that's a Russia, you know. Sodom's laws were shali, shali, v'shalach, shalach. Forgive me for saying, I know this is very, very offensive, and I'm saying it dafka to be provocative, and it's not like I don't entirely agree with what you guys hold. Sodom was extreme Republicans, right-wingers to the end. Everybody's got a gun, and you got to follow the laws, and let poor people suffer. The government should not be giving out handouts. There should be no, whatever it is, rent relief, and food stamps, and all the other things that all the Heimies in Brooklyn are taking advantage of, but let's not discuss it. You want to make money, work hard. You're a loser, tough luck. No, the shita was, if you're old and you're sick and you have a nice pair of shoes, I take your shoes from you. Why are you going to die anyway? And the crime of Sodom, the evil of Sodom, it was all legal. It was all kosher v'yosher, follow the rules. The Gemara says that a civilization, the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because Jews became like Sodom. It's a Gemara Masechta Bava Metzia. How did the Jewish people become like Sodom? Anytime two Jews had a disagreement in finance, they went to court. In a normal civilization, people have differences. They resolve them. A car hits a car, you get out of your car, you talk about it, you exchange a few dollars, you're invited. If everything you run to court, every little thing you run to court, a civilization where people don't have a human element, where you could forgive, where you could negotiate, where you could compromise. A civilization where everybody insists on following the letter to the law is a civilization where the human beings are not human. They're cold, calculated, and I'll use that word again, they're Germans. That's what Sodom was. You think of Sodom as a bunch of evil people. In Gilead Arayos, they were evil. But in business, they were very honest. But their honesty was heartless. There was no rachmanis. There was no forgiveness. There was no second chances. And the Torah called them Royim v'chatoim l'Hashem b'yoy. They were the evilest people in the world. And Avraham's davening for them. Avraham is davening for them. In Chumash it says, Hashem tells Avraham about Sodom, not so Avraham should daven for Sodom. When the Yidden made the egel, Hashem gives Moshe Rabbeinu a hint. If you'll daven, I'll change my mind. But when Hashem gives Moshe Rabbeinu a hint that if he'll daven, he'll change his mind by the egel, he said to Moshe, daven for the Jews. When Hashem says to Avraham, I'm going to wipe out Sodom, he wasn't telling it to Avraham to save the people of Sodom. It was to save his real estate. This land, this very, very fertile southern part of Israel is Avraham's estate. It's his property. And the Eibush is going to make it into a salt bed, which is Adayim Ezeh. It's 4,000 years later, almost 37 years later. It's still absolutely infertile.
It's inside the treaty.
Okay, call it what you wish. The Eibush comes to Avraham Avinu and says, "This is your land. I know there are people living there that I'm very angry at, but when I destroy them and destroying your property, I want you to know up front." But Avraham doesn't daven for his real estate. And by the way, you can make a good case that Avraham comes to the Eibush and says, "Listen here, Eibush, make a plague. Send up some gas from under the ground and they'll all die from suffocation or from asphyxiation. But why should you ruin the ground? Maybe Eibush will do it." Avraham doesn't daven for the real estate, that was for the people. And you see what a good person is. Avraham wasn't a fool. Avraham knew how evil the people of Sodom were. But Avraham was one of those people who always tried to see good in everybody and to do good for people. You know, like it says in Tanya, when you meet a bad person and you love him, you never know. Maybe he'll become a little bit less bad. And you know what? And if he didn't become a little bit less bad, you did a good thing. So Avraham is davening for the people of Sodom. Now you have to assert the following thing. Avraham is davening with people of Sodom on two grounds. There are two big agendas, two big arguments that Avraham is putting forward to try and save the people of Sodom. Number one, the people themselves. They deserve to live. And number two, Avraham's power of prayer. There's two components. He says to Hashem, the people of Sodom are not so bad. And he says to Hashem, I'm asking. And when you read these six assertions, when you read Avraham Avinu say 6 times over, can I say it one more time? Can I ask again? May I say it one more time? You have to appreciate that there are these two dimensions. The way I look at it, sometimes Avraham is arguing because the people of Sodom deserve not to die. Sometimes Avraham is arguing because Avraham feels that he's a tzaddik enough that the Eibishter should save him. And sometimes Avraham davens, the people of Sodom don't deserve it. He doesn't think he himself is worthy, but he davens anyway. And I'll tell you how I see it. And I must tell you this straight up. Everything I'm about to say, I invented. I didn't look up any mafashim. I didn't have time. A whole day I'm thinking about it. You look inside. Look at number 2. It says, Hine nohoi alti. Look at number 5. It says, Hine nohoi alti. Look at number 4. Al no yichar ladeinoi. Look at number 6. Al no yichar ladeinoi. You see those patterns? My opinion is, and this is just my opinion, that the first 2 times that Avraham davens, he's davening because he thinks the people of Sodom should be forgiven. When Avraham says, Hine nohayalti, Avraham is davening because he says to the Eibishter, I'm asking. I have schus. And when Avraham says, Al no yicha, don't be angry with me, Avraham is davening even though he knows the people of Sodom don't deserve it, and he feels like his power of prayer has been exhausted, but he asks anyway. That's the cheshbon that I have, okay? The 2 hidden nohayaltis, which is number 2, and number 5, is Avraham saying, I have schusim. Do it for me. The 2 where it says, Al no yichal adonai, which is number 4 and number 6, Avraham is asking, even though neither he has a schus, nor does he believe that the people of Sodom deserve it. And the first 2, 1 and 2, Avraham is davening and still hoping that the people of Sodom themselves deserve to be saved. This is how I'm presenting it to you. It's just thoughts that I have. I'm not telling you kablu daiti. Obviously, I'm going to argue my case. I'm going to explain to you why I'm saying these different things as we go through it. But I'm telling you up front, I did not sit down this afternoon. I have a whole stack of Rishonim, but I didn't have chance. I didn't have time. I just got too busy. So let's go. Huh? Well, let's get to that. We'll go through it, okay? So start from the beginning. Number 1. Vayigash Avraham comes forward. Vayomer, his first argument is, how are you going to punish the righteous with the evil? If you're going to send a natural disaster. And a natural disaster means there's going to be an explosion, whatever it was. It was a meteor that hit, or it was a volcano that's going to wipe everybody out. If you're going to wipe everybody out, you're going to kill tzaddikim and Yisrael. Right? By the Makas B'chayris, there was selection. This one died, this one didn't die. In Sodom, Hashem wipes everybody out, and Rambam says you're going to kill everybody. The good and the bad, everyone's going to die. You're going to send a bomb from heaven, and you're going to blow up the whole situation, and you're going to kill tzaddikim with the Shoyim, and he continues. Chalil alacha, woe unto you. How unbecoming of you is it? May I say kadovar hazeh, that you should do something like this. Laham is tzaddik im rasha, to kill the righteous with the evil. V'hayach tzaddik rasha, which means that you're equating the tzaddik with the rasha. Chalil alach, it's unbefitting of you. Hashefet kol ha'aretz, he who was able to judge every single creation on earth, lo yasa mishpat, should do things that are unjust. Okay? The tainah that people have to the Eibishter is not that the Eibishter punishes. That when the Eibishter punishes, he doesn't discriminate. Just kills everybody. There's an old expression from the Rabbeim, even during wartime. I heard that Rabbi Leivik once told it somebody. The Rabbeim used to say, Yeder koilat an adres. Every bullet has a mark, has a target. In other words, you go to a front, a bullet doesn't hit you randomly. A front, is the most, random environment. It's the most unpredictable environment. And the Rabbeim say, even on the front, bullets have an address, but it doesn't look that way at all. And Avraham's taina is, first taina, you're going to kill the people of Sodom. And how's it going to look? How's it going to look? You just kill everybody. There's tzaddikim, there's Yisrael. You're God. You don't know how to make selection? You don't know how to separate the good from the bad? You can't figure out a way of punishing the people from Sodom and getting the wicked and saving the righteous? You're going to kill them all? So Avraham Avinu comes to the Eibishter with a very, very strong taina. The first taina that Avraham Avinu comes with is not apologetic at all. Right? He doesn't even say ulai. It says ulai yesh chamishim. It does say ulai. I want to take that back. Avraham Avinu's first argument is, what are you doing? Are you God or you are a madman? In the Rashi says in another place in Chumash that when a king gets angry at his subjects, and I don't know if you guys remember this before your time, Saddam Hussein, who was really Saddam, who was insane, had a problem with the Kurds. The Kurds lived in northern Iraq. It's a whole situation. So he sent poisonous gas and just killed entire communities. He didn't kill the rebels. He didn't kill the people making trouble. Just killed everybody. And Avraham says to Eibishter, really? This is how you're going to act? You're going to kill everybody? So Avraham Avinu's first argument is very, very, very forceful. Avraham Avinu does not have to rely on his chusim. Avraham Avinu is relying on the fact that in every civilization, even in Sodom, there are some good people. And the Eibishter should be discriminating. He should do what he has to do, but he should do it with a soft touch, not with a big fist. And the Eibishter says to Avraham, I hear you, and I agree with you. If I find righteous people in Sodom, I will discriminate. I won't use a fist. I'll use fingers. I'll be selective. I'll decide who I'm killing, I'm not killing. But what the Eibishter is really telling Avraham Avinu is, I appreciate your assertion. I appreciate the fact that you are trying to defend the people of Sodom with the argument that some of them are tzaddikim. Well, guess what? There aren't any. There are no tzaddikim in Sodom. So Avraham tries again. But now, Avraham, his argument is much softer. The first argument, he's coming at the Eibishter is pushing outright wrong. The second time around, the Eibishter already told him, "Head Avraham, whatever you figured out, I figured out also. The people of Sodom are evil, and they're all evil. They're a bunch of Rishayim. There are a bunch of how many people in Nazi Germany said, A, they didn't know about the concentration camps, and B, they couldn't help it. Every single German was an enabler. Everybody knows that. Okay, there were people who actually ran the camps, and there were people who sanctioned the camps. We all know the different madregas of dishes. But what the Germans did between 1932 and 1945 happened because 60 million people let it happen. It didn't happen because a few Mishagoyim did it. So this is what the Eibishter tells Avraham Avinu. So Avraham comes the second time. Number 2. Now the word hayalti, hoyil, means I desire. The word hoyil is an interesting word. You have it in Chumash in a number of different places. By Yoel Moshe L'Sheves as Ish in Shmois. Hoyel Moshe Bayras Atera Azeis Beir Heitiv in the beginning of Dvorim. Hoyel means to have an interest in doing something. But the connotation of the word Hoyel is double. Hoyel means I desire to talk to you. But I desire that you should desire to hear me. Hine no hoyalti, please. I'm reaching out to you with my zehusim, with my milas, with my strength, with my tzidkis, and I'm asking you to match my hoyel with your hoyel. In other words, I'm reaching out to you because I desire to help these people. I would like you to desire my desire back, and in that spirit, let's see if we can do something to save the people. That's how I'm translating the word hinoyalti. I'm speaking to Hashem in the way of Hayil. I'm speaking from my Ratzon, and I'm appealing to the Eibishter's Ratzon, and he adds 3 more words. I'm like earth and like ash. Now, so there's a Chassidus on this. It's a beautiful Chassidus, and it has a lot of ramifications. It applies in many different cases. The Chassidus is in Tanya Geras Achei Temimim, the 15th letter of Tanya in the introduction. And the Alter Rebbe is a very interesting thing, and I'm going to give you an insight, okay? Avraham Avinu's name you have twice in a row. Avraham, right? Yaakov Avinu's name you have Yaakov. Noach's name you have twice. Noach. Moshe Rabbeinu's name you have Moshe. Hashem's name you have Hashem, but there's a difference. By Noach, by Avraham, and by Yankov, between one Avraham and the other Avraham, there's a psik. If any of you know how to lane, you know there's a mercha and a tipcha, right? What's the difference between a mercha and a tipcha? A mercha connects, a tipcha interrupts. If you have tipcha, mercha es nachta, mercha, tipcha es nachta, mercha connects. Tipcha separates. So tipcha is called a psik. When you have 2 times Avraham, it says Avraham. And the same is true Noach. And the same is true Yaakov. But by Moshe, it's a mercha tipcha. It goes together. And the Zohar talks about this. How come by the 2 Avrahams there's a psik, by the 2 Noachs there's a psik, by the 2 Yaakov there's a psik, and by the 2 Moshes there's no psik? And the answer in short is this. The 2 Avrahams are Avraham and Atzilus and Avraham and Asiyah. The 2 Noachs, in other words, the mysticism for the double lashon is not just chavivas, it's 2 levels. The 2 Noachs, the 2 Yankovs, one is an Atzilus, one is an Asiyah. So you separate. Avraham Avinu comes from Atzilus into this world. But the Avraham Avinu and Atzilus is not the same Avraham in this world. You know what the difference is? Take a piece of wood, burn it, get the ash. Compare that little pile of ash to the original piece of wood. They're very different, right? That's how different the first Avraham Avinu is from the second Avraham Avinu is. When Avraham Avinu says in his second request, he's going on the first request. When Avraham asked the first time, Avraham asserts himself to the Eibishter like he is in Atzilus. And the Shama da Atzilus is coming to the Eibishter and says, you cannot do this time. When it comes the second time, so on the one hand, he's asking Hashem to look at him favorably and to save the people of Sodom because of his schus. But he says, okay, I'll admit, I'm not Avraham Avinu and Atzilus. I'm like the ash left over from a piece of wood. I'm Avraham Avinu and Asiyah. So I'm not as holy as I was in my Shadish. So the chutzpah I displayed the first time, I don't have anymore. I appreciate, I get it. But I'm still Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu and Asiyah is still a big tzaddik. Avraham Avinu Asiyah is still, it says in Medrash, Sefer HaBoyer, when Avraham Avinu was born, say Midas HaChesed, went on vacation. It says in Sefer HaBoyer, Amra Midas HaChesed Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the attribute of kindness says to God, from the day Avraham Avinu was born, I'm unemployed, Avraham is standing in my place. So the first time Avraham is asserting himself like he's an Neshama and Atzilus, he's almost talking to the Eibishter as an equal. And the Eibishter pushes him down and says, no, I'm a judge and I'm telling you, I'm not doing this with a fist. They're evil. There's no good people in Sodom. So he comes back again. But the second time he says, Hayalti, do it for me. And he adds, I concede that I'm not in the Madrega of Atzilus. He's not speaking with the same certitude, the same chutzpah, like he did the first time around. But he says, even the ash of Avraham, even the dust of Avraham is still a big tzaddik. Don't ignore my request. Save the people of Sodom in my zechus, even though I don't have the same force as I did the first time around. This is the second request of Avraham Avinu. Number 3, the third time around, Avraham says nothing. Why? This is how I'm interpreting it. This is how I'm interpreting it. The third time around, Avraham Avinu says, I asked you to do something for my zechus. I asked you to do something even though I'm only ash. I'm asking you again. In other words, the second request and the third request are on the same level. What's the difference between the second request and the third request? Rashi says, the second request, Avraham Avinu is still trying to save everybody. The third request, Avraham Avinu is trying to save a segment, but his argument is the same. Just like in the second argument, you have the word hayalti, do it for me. My will and your will should meet, and we should do something good for the people of Sodom. Plus, anoichi off of Efer. In other words, I'm not coming to you like as if I'm an Atzilus. I'm the dust of Atzilus, but the dust of Atzilus is also very great. The third time, by Yosef, he's using the same arguments. He's again saying, I'm coming to you with my zechusim. He's again saying, I'm Avraham Avinu, whose chesed is incredible, even though compared to chesed and Atzilus, it's v'nechi off of Efer. Save some of them. And again, the Eibusha says no. So there comes the fourth request. The fourth request, this is interesting. He says, Vayomer, al no yichal la'adenoi. Don't get angry at me. The fourth request, Avraham Avinu is not coming because Sodom deserves it. And he's not coming because he has a schus. Hoyel, or off of Efer, he's not coming with any schus. He says, I'm davening without any schus. Just don't get angry with me. Don't get angry with me. Va'adabra, I will speak. Ula yibasem shleish. Now, the pshat in don't get angry with me is a very simple thing. In human nature, people are subject to mood. Everybody understands that. Everybody's subject to mood. Right? Sometimes I come to yeshiva for whatever reason. Maybe I didn't sleep enough. Maybe I'm in a bad mood. Now, I have to do the same thing when I'm in a good mood. I have to do the same thing when I'm in a bad mood. But I will say that the Bacham know that I'm in a bad mood. It doesn't take long to figure. Some people are very, very good at keeping the mood for themselves. People have different moods. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. When I'm in a bad mood, you'll tell it to me again. Please. I need it then. Okay. Now wait. When a person's in a bad mood, and they judge things, listen carefully. When they judge things, they judge on balance. If you're a judge and you're not honest, you're a bad judge. 1 second. If you're a judge, your job is to judge on balance. Meaning to say, your job is to look at the facts and make a determination based on the facts. You can't change the facts. If you over-kind the facts, you're a corrupt judge. If you over-exact, if you over-cruel the facts, you're a corrupt judge. A judge has to look at the situation and he has to come up with a verdict which is true. But there's still a fact of life that if the judge is a nicer person, he'll judge honorably and somehow he'll be a little nicer. And if the judge is in a bad mood, even if he judges honorably, the judgment comes out a little more severe. So the fourth time, Avraham says, I'm not speaking about Sodom. I'm not speaking about me. I'm speaking about your mood. Don't approach Sodom with anger. Just approach Sodom without anger. So in other words, if you have to put it in words, the greatest thing Avraham Avinu could say, I deserve that you should save Sodom, and Sodom deserves to be saved. The lesser thing is, Sodom deserves to be saved. The lesser thing is, Sodom deserves to be saved, but I think you should save them for me. And the lesser is, Sodom doesn't deserve to be saved. I have no schus, but don't be angry. And this is the fourth proposal of Avraham Avinu. Don't get angry. Judge them. I'm out of arguments. Judge them, and you're going to judge them the way the law is going to require. Just don't calm down anger. The Rebbe says, okay, I won't. There's nobody to save. Then comes number 5, and this is strange. Because all of a sudden, Avraham goes back to pleading his case. Vayomer hine no hayalti. Again, the fifth time he says again the word hayalti. The word hayalti you have by number 2. Hine no hayalti means I'm asking you that you should come from my zechus. So how does this work? If number 4 is don't get angry, how could number 5 become from my zechus? So the pshat in number 5 is, even if I don't have a zechus, at least I have a zechus that because of me you shouldn't get angry. In number 4, Avraham says to the Eibishter, judge the people of Sodom, just don't get angry. In number 5 he says, if you judge the people of Sodom by themselves, you're going to be angry with them. For me, don't get angry. In other words, in number 5, Avraham Avinu is not saying the same thing he said in number 2. I have a zchus. I desire to save Sodom, and I desire that you should desire to save Sodom. When he says in number 5, what Avraham Avinu is saying to the Eibishter, I'm asking you one thing. In my zchus, don't be angry. You're going to judge them, but don't judge them angry. So the Hine no hayalti is less than the Al Nyo Yichal Adonai of number 4. Because in number 4 he says to the Eibishter, don't be angry for you. In number 5 he says, listen, for you want to be angry. For me, don't be angry. And of course, when the Eibishter is not angry, it doesn't make him nice. It doesn't make him subjective. It doesn't make him dishonest. He's going to judge the people's time based on the merits and demerits. But Avraham says, at least be soft, be gentle, be middle of the road. Don't be angry in your judgment. In my zechus. And the Eibishter says, even that I cannot do. So he tries one last time. And this is like Avraham Avinu's last pitch. Avraham Avinu says like this. I don't have schusim to save Sodom. Sodom doesn't have schusim to save themselves. I don't even have a right to demand of you not to be angry because they deserve your anger. I don't even have a right to demand of you not to be angry because I'm asking you not to be angry. But I promise you I won't ask again. I promise you I won't ask again. So Avraham Avinu says to the Eibishter, my last request is, they deserve anger. I cannot prevent you from being angry with them. But you're about to destroy people. This is the last time. In other words, Avraham says to the Eibishter, he's almost threatening him. If you don't give in to this tefillah, I'm not davening again. You know, again, going back to Moshe Rabbeinu. It's a very, very strange story. The Yidden make an egel, and Hashem wants to kill the Jews, and he says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Hanichali. What does Hanichali mean? Allow me to kill the Jews. I'm asking you, the Eibishter needs Moshe Rabbeinu's permission. So Moshe understands that when Hashem says to him, Hanichali, what the Eibishter is really saying to him, if you'll stop me, I won't do it. So this is the exact opposite of that. Avraham is saying to the Eibishter, I'm out of arguments. I'm out of schusim. I can't even expect you not to be angry with these people. I can't even expect you not to be angry with these people in my zechus. Just bear in mind, after I make this prayer, I will not pray again, and then you will have to destroy your people. Don't get angry with the awareness that there's nobody to advocate for them. You know the famous word from the Rebbe Rashab, it's a really wonderful word. The Gemara says, Shoita also l'racham alav. You're not allowed to have mercy on a shoita. So the Rebbe Rashab said, could you imagine what kind of rachmanis it is on a person that the Torah says you're not allowed to have rachmanis on him? Avraham says to the Eibishter, I cannot stop you from destroying them. I cannot stop you from being angry with them. They have no schus. I have no schus. But I'm letting you know that if you don't listen to this prayer, I'm not stopping you again. This is it. I am not going to try to stop. He's almost threatening. He's almost daring the Eibishter. He's saying to him, Achapa, this is the last time. If you don't listen to this prayer, there is nobody in the world that's going to defend the people of Sodom. You have a Chumash Rashi also. It's one of my favorite Rashis in the whole Chumash. It's really a great Chumash Rashi. The Yidden make an egel, right? Yidden make an egel. The Eibishter is angry with them. And he separates himself. He doesn't want to talk to them. He takes away the crowns. Hashem gave them crowns by Har Sinai. He takes away their crowns. He distances himself from the Jewish people. What does Moshe Rabbeinu do? Moshe says that the Eibush is angry with them. And the Eibush is far away from them. So he also goes far away. So Moshe goes 2,000 amos, a whole Chum Shabbos away from the Jewish people. He thinks God is angry, I'm going to be angry too. And the Eibush comes to speak to Moshe Rabbeinu. Says, Rashi, what did he tell him? That if the Rav is angry, and the Talmud is angry, mi yikaravim. I'm angry, right? The Rebbe used to use the expression, I'm officially angry with the Jews. If you're going to be angry with them also, who's going to think about them? Hashem comes to Avraham Avinu and says, when I'm angry, you can't be. And he tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go back to the camp. I'm angry, and because I'm angry, you got to be nice. So Avraham tells the Eibishter, Achapam, if you don't listen to this tefillah, I am telling you right now, I will not daven for them again. And the Eibishter says, the people of Zayim deserve to be wiped out. So what we just did was learn the Pasha Chumash. I have to say, obviously, I'm quoting different sources. But this is a pshetl. It's not Torah. It's a pshetl. It's an insight. The point of this is, when you learn Torah, every word is precise. The order is precise. The words are precise. And it's interesting to notice things that nobody else notices. Okay, thank you for listening. As Daven Ma'ariv.